Your phone works fine. Battery lasts all day. Apps run smoothly, no cracks, no glitches, nothing wrong. So why are you already thinking about replacing it? In 2023, 68% of smartphones replaced were still fully functional. Not broken, not obsolete, just not new anymore. And that's not an accident. Tech companies have engineered a cycle that turns perfectly good devices into outdated ones the moment a new version drops. Today, we're dissecting the tech upgrade cycle, the psychological forces that make you replace working devices, and what this perpetual treadmill is actually costing you. Let's start with what's happening in your brain when a new iPhone, Galaxy, or laptop launches. You don't need it. Your current device does everything you need it to do, but suddenly you feel behind, like you're missing out. Psychologists call this the progress illusion. The belief that upgrading technology equals personal progress, that a newer device will make us more productive, more connected, more capable, that it's an investment in ourselves, not just a purchase. Here's the problem. Most upgrades deliver marginal improvements at best: a slightly better camera, a fractionally faster processor, features you won't use. But the marketing doesn't sell you the marginal truth. It sells you transformation. The message is clear: upgrade and you upgrade your life. But when researchers study actual usage patterns, they find something interesting. People use new phones almost identically to how they used old ones. Same apps, same habits, same screen time. The device changed, the behavior didn't. We're not buying better performance, we're buying the feeling of progress. And that feeling? It fades fast. Your coworker shows up with a new iPhone. Your friend posts their unboxing video. Your partner mentions they're thinking about upgrading. And suddenly your phone, which was fine 5 minutes ago, old. This is social comparison, turbocharged by consumer technology. We don't just compare ourselves to people around us anymore, we compare our devices. And tech companies know this. That's why launch events are spectacles. That's why they create color exclusives and limited editions. That's why trade-in programs let you upgrade annually. They've turned device ownership into a social signal, a marker of who's current, who's engaged, who's winning. Apple doesn't sell you a phone. They sell you membership in a tribe of people who get it. Samsung doesn't sell you a foldable screen. They sell you early adopter status. And when your tribe upgrades, staying behind feels like exclusion. But here's the uncomfortable truth. You're not keeping up with progress. You're keeping up with a marketing calendar. The 2-year cycle isn't based on when technology meaningfully improves. It's based on when companies need to hit revenue targets. Because the upgrade cycle isn't just about phones. It's about everything connected to your phone. You've got an iPhone, so you get AirPods, then an Apple Watch, then a MacBook, because everything syncs, then an iPad, because why not? Before you know it, you're not using devices. You're locked into an ecosystem. And once you're in, leaving gets expensive. This is ecosystem lock-in. And it's one of the most elegant traps in consumer psychology, because every additional device you buy makes switching brands harder. Your photos are in iCloud. Your messages are in iMessage. Your subscriptions are tied to your Apple ID. Leaving doesn't just mean replacing one device, it means replacing your entire digital infrastructure. Tech companies engineer this deliberately. It's not just about selling you a phone, it's about creating dependency. Once you're locked in, upgrades aren't optional anymore. They're mandatory maintenance of a system you can't afford to leave. The ecosystem doesn't serve you, you serve it. You upgrade not because you want to, but because staying current is the only way to ensure everything keeps working together. Miss a generation or two, and compatibility breaks, features disappear, you get left behind. But what about when upgrades do offer something new? The improvement is incremental, maybe 10–15% better in ideal conditions. You're paying 100% of the device cost for a marginal improvement, you'll notice maybe 5% of the time. Behavioral economists call this the diminishing returns trap. Early upgrades deliver meaningful leaps. Flip phone to smartphone, that's transformative. But smartphone to slightly better smartphone, you're paying the same price for a fraction of the value. And yet, tech marketing is designed to obscure this. They don't compare the new iPhone to last year's iPhone. They compare it to a 5-year-old model. Your brain isn't thinking about marginal utility anymore. It's thinking about newness. And newness always feels worth it, in the moment. Now let's talk about what this cycle costs beyond your wallet. E-waste, discarded electronics, is the fastest growing waste stream on the planet. In 2022, we generated 62 million tons of it. Less than 20% was recycled. The rest ended up in landfills, leaching toxic materials into soil and water. Your old phone doesn't disappear when you trade it in. Best case, it's refurbished and resold. More often, it's dismantled for parts in conditions that are dangerous for workers and destructive to the environment. Or it just sits in a drawer forever because you meant to recycle it but never got around to it. The upgrade cycle doesn't just waste devices. It wastes the rare earth minerals, the labor, the energy that went into making them. A smartphone contains gold, cobalt, lithium, materials extracted under conditions most of us would rather not think about, and we're treating them as disposable. So how do we step off this treadmill? First, name the urge. The next time you feel the pull to upgrade, pause and ask, what's actually wrong with my current device? If the answer is nothing, that's a red flag. You're not solving a problem, you're chasing a feeling. Second, set a replacement rule. Not based on release cycles, but on actual need. I'll replace my phone when the battery no longer lasts a full day, or when it can't run the apps I need. Make the criteria functional, not aspirational. Third, calculate the real cost. Before you upgrade, do the math. If you're replacing a working device every 2 years at $1,000 each, that's $500 a year, $5,000 a decade, on marginal improvements. What else could that money do? Fourth, repair, don't replace. Most issues that make us think we need a new device can be solved for a fraction of the cost. And finally, opt out of the hype. Skip the launch events. Stop watching unboxing videos. You can't want what you don't see. The tech upgrade cycle isn't driven by need, it's driven by psychology. The progress fallacy makes us believe newer equals better. Social comparison makes us feel left behind. Ecosystem lock-in makes switching costly. Marginal improvements are sold as transformations, and the environmental cost is staggering. But once you see the pattern, you can choose differently. You can stop upgrading on a corporation's schedule and start replacing devices when they actually stop serving you. Your phone works fine.